When I downloaded Crime Boss Rocky City off of PlayStation Plus Extra, I assumed this was like a Grand Theft Auto ripoff, and I was totally wrong. It's actually a Payday ripoff, but it's a really, really, really miserably bad one. The dialogue is amongst the worst I've ever heard in a video game, and while it's an all-star cast, they can't really do anything with the dialogue they get because the dialogue is absolutely awful. The single player modes is the roguelike portion where you've got the city and you want to try and take turf and you want to hire soldiers to keep a hold of your turf and take it from the enemies. It's not the worst idea to make a roguelike about having a payday style system where you're doing heists to get money to, have something to put that money towards. It gives that payday mission structure a bit more meaning when you're doing it to take over the city. The problems are, as I'm going to show in a second, the gameplay of the stealth stuff sucks because you can basically just melee take down people to try and avoid setting the alarm off or shoot everyone, and neither is particularly satisfying. The act of taking over territory is poorly balanced, to say the least. Like, the AI, try to think of the best way to word it. I have got 30 people in my army, as you can see in the top corner there, which I can't actually reach with the cursor because it doesn't go that far. Let's go behind his hat though, which nice. I have 30 people in my army. So, for instance, if I want to take this neutral territory, I need to send 10 soldiers to take it and spend 4 grand to take it. And it's grand because, you get that much money back in rewards and stuff like that. So those soldiers are now done for the day. So I've got 20 people left. You can also send soldiers to attack other people's territory to take it off them, which takes more soldiers and you have to do a little bit of shooting. So let's go ahead and take this from the Sicarios. And we're just going to send 10 guys because level 1 should be fine. This is the combative game, and you'll spend most of your time in a successful run doing this because you need to control all of the territory on the map to win the game.
Turf 4, take all we
Michael
can
Rooker
get.
does the best he can
Take
first round,
this team of pussy-ass
but
sickos down.
his dialogue is awful. It's like the edgiest stuff a teenager could ever write. And then the combat mostly involves people standing out in the open
Fierce and fucking fast.
with firing at each other with terrible guns. Your AI is absolutely brain dead and will stand next to cars and things that are about to explode and just die.
Captain on the feet. Gotta get ugly. They're struggling. Losing players.
It's just like fighting the Chainsaw Salvador in Resident Evil 4 Village, right?
Miles to go before we sleep. Hell of a contest. We kicked ass. We are Rockay City champs. You chumps believe that? Huh?
So we won. We took that turf. We lost 8 soldiers doing it, despite the fact that we didn't really lose anyone until the one-hit kill melee guy turned up at the end. And that turf's now ours. So we killed 13 Sicarios, the game tells you there. And you might expect that has some sort of impact on the remainder of them, but it doesn't. You can see at the bottom left it says there, Dollar Dragon has increased his army tier. So to stop us from taking more of his territory too early in the game, they've upgraded their guys to tier 2, so they've got much better weapons and armor than yours. If you attack people with a lower tier army, your guys basically just get wiped off the map. Like you're having to solo the entire encounter because your guys just get absolutely murdered. And it's a shame because there's actually a small bit of nuance to this map. Like if I took the Midtown region, it would cut off these two from each other, and we would gain control of the one that was cut off. So like there's actually a little bit of strategy along the lines of taking territory in the middle of people, so you can then take the lot from them in one fell swoop, which is a neat idea. And you can go and do missions to get more money to be able to hire more soldiers, to be able to then send more people to invade territory and stuff like that. Like, let's go do the Moonlit Adventure and sneak into a guarded warehouse. So you can send the boss, but if he dies and your run is over, and you can send other people with him too, but they have a bigger cuts of the mission, depending on how good they are. And we're just going to go in and mess around because this is not a run I'm going to be continuing. Like the actual act of doing the heists, like the Payday part of it, you've already seen how good the combat
Near the
is.
warehouse.
But for these,
With luck, there will be no civilians. But should you encounter any, avoid harming.
you're incentivized not to just kill everyone because it increases the police investigation into you, which then causes Chuck Norris to shoot you in the head and you lose. So you want to avoid that. But for instance, this is the warehouse we're going into. So there's 2 civilians there, and it looks like there's
Stupid fucking guard here.
a stupid guard there.
Seeing a fuck nut.
The dialogue is this cringeworthy throughout the
Down
entire
or I'll
game.
put you down.
So you want to hit people
Just
in the
a
back,
precaution.
zip tie them, and then get them to follow you somewhere where they won't be seen by someone. Because if someone sees someone who's zip tied, the alarm goes off. The
Back
AI
on the
will
ground,
pretty
ass.
much stand
Head
where you spawn unless you
behind
tell
me.
them to specifically follow you. And in theory, you can ask them to do stuff like, hey, there's a guy over there. Go and subdue him. But when you do that, the AI literally just sprints in a straight line at them to do it. So if there's any cameras or other bodies in the way, they'll get detected and spotted instantly. Which then means you're going loud and having to shoot everyone in the head.
In fucking sight.
Easy. Now the loot.
And of course,
Open all boxes, but
there
take
is
only objects of quality.
a terrible minigame to
There we
pick
go.
locks.
Yippee-ki-yay, stash.
And if you want your AI to steal stuff, well,
Man, chill out.
they're going to have to be told to go and do it. They can't just do it
Let's
themselves.
go.
Yippee-ki-yay, stash. God damn it, ain't here.
And they've got a similar thing to Payday where you grab loot and it goes into a bag. So if you can carry 2 bags, but the problem there is if you're carrying 2 bags, you can't use your primary. And that's kind of it. That's the entirety of the thought that went into it. So you get your bags of loot, you carry them to the van. And sometimes the van moves because you went loud. And it has to relocate for no particular reason.
One.
We've got half the loot.
3 bags now.
Like every character you can recruit does have their own voice lines and dialogue, which is nice. Because you hear too much of Michael Luthers, or Michael Madsen, sorry. And he just sounds terrible. Now, we haven't quite got enough stuff to meet our quota, so I'm going to drop that bag there.
All right. Got a bag.
Lay down, shit heels. You want the easy way or fucking hard? Take that runner's legs out. Face in the fucking dirt. Make it easy on yourself.
Come on, guys. You guys all want to come back here.
4.
Back down there. Now. The fuck you think you're going? Nada. Fucking found some.
It is time to make our exit. It is best you continue unnoticed.
Hey, this works for me.
Got it. Got it.
The best way I've found of doing heists is just to put stuff in the bags and then give them to the AI, and then the AI will take them to the van eventually.
Yippee-ki-yay, stash. Listen, I'll take it from here. Bunch of horse shit.
Right, that's plenty. So let's get it to the van and get out.
Good work. We got it. Get in
And that's
the
it.
fucking
That was a
van and
successful
split.
house. We took like 3 people hostage and zip tied them. And then we walked in and we opened some boxes and we got the stuff. And if things go well, that's about as exciting as they get. Otherwise, you've got more of the same combat you saw earlier when we had turf war. And that's it. That's the entire game. Like, you go to jewelry stores, you go to banks, and by and large, you'll have a bad time. Like, none of it feels good to play. The system of stealth basically revolves around picking people up individually and then moving them somewhere they won't be seen, or occasionally throwing a brick at a camera. The stealth system also has incredibly broken sound systems. Like, you can be several floors underneath people, put a drill onto a vault to break into it, and everyone on the map will hear you doing it, which then results in them discovering the people who you've been stealthily dealing with beforehand. But, you know, what can you do? And then with roguelike aspect of it, you've got different perks for your character. You can come in with more stuff. You can spend money in the office to get assets, which cost ludicrous sums of money. Like at the end of a successful campaign, I had about 300,000, so I had almost enough to get the medieval sword collection, but nowhere near enough to get the statue. They give you more XP, they give you more perks for your entourage, like your guys do more damage, it costs less money to do things, you get more money from jobs, and none of it is particularly exciting. Like the boring stuff, like starting with more money and more soldiers in your army, is the only stuff that really matters at all. But the actual gameplay is just so dreadfully dull that I cannot recommend spending any time in it. I spent enough time in it to finish it, and that was more time than it deserved. And I'm going to try and get some people together to do some co-op of it to see if that is redeemable, because there is online multiplayer, and doing heists with friends could be fun, but I don't hold any hope for it. So I say avoid Rocky City. It's just not very good. Thanks for watching.